Hello everybody. As you may have noticed, my latest video, which I posted just a second ago, was without audio, but this time I will be displaying the bones of the midsection and the axial, mostly just the axial region of the skeleton, with my voice. So yeah, audio visuals here, and I will be starting off just below the cervical region. So I'm going to try to speed through this just because you guys already saw everything in my last video, but I'll just explain them a little bit. You have the true ribs, and obviously we want to continue to understand this concept of these being inverted. So obviously if you go to the posterior side of things, you can see that they are true to how we perceive things in real life, but obviously that's not the case from the anterior point of view. So you have the true ribs, and then you have the costal cartilages, which attach to the body of the sternum. And then you have the manubrium, which is the superior portion of the sternum. And you have the xiphoid process, which is the very lower tip of the sternum, the most inferior portion of the sternum. And then we have the floating ribs down here. Give a posterior view of those. There's only two floating ribs because you have the vertebrochondral ribs just below the true ribs. So three sections of the ribs there. Gonna reset this really quick. And then we have the clavicle, posterior view of that. The left side stays true to our perception. How we see things in real life. And we have the scapula left, anterior view of those. Scapula, which is behind your rib cage. Clavicle is just in front of your rib cage, so superior and anterior to your rib cage. Then we have the glenohumeral ligament and the coracohumeral ligament, which I have butchered twice now. And we have if we zoom in a little bit, we have the trapezoid ligament, and we have the conoid ligament, which are attached from the clavicle to the outer region, I would say, of the scapula, the deltoid area, triangular region right there. So we have those, and then we have the humerus, obviously, which those two ligaments are attached to on either side. You have the left humerus there, right humerus there, one of the largest bones in the body. Obviously the femur is the largest bone in the body, as you can see on our visual here, which is the first bone of the leg, which is attached to the ilium. I shouldn't say the ilium, it's attached to the pelvis. And in reality, this ball and socket joint right there is attached to the pubis, which is the ischium on the lower end of that, the inferior portion. You have the pubic symphysis, you have the ischium again on the right side as well as the pubis. You have the ilium on the right side as well. You have the sacrum. And then last thing to do, if we go along the spinal region, it starts at the T1, which is the thoracic, since I went over the cervical vertebrae last time. And obviously you have the intervertebral disc between each, but we're not going to go over that since you already understand that from the previous video. We have the T2, T3, T4, which, as long as you understand that each of these are part of the thoracic vertebrae, then you're good to go. We have the 12 thoracic vertebrae, and then we move down to the lumbar, L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. And once we get to L5, there's a L4, and then I thought there was an intervertebral disc. Yeah, there we go, between them, but that is for all of them. As you can see, all those blue markings on here are the discs in between each of the vertebrae. And that leads down to the sacrum eventually, which goes down to your pubic area, and so on. So yeah, I believe that's all I had to cover in this one. Next time we will be covering the extremities, as I mentioned, the appendicular portion of the skeleton, and that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed my visual and audio display of the skeleton this time, And please leave me in the comments what you'd like to see next, if not the appendicular region of it and the extremities. So please just give me any suggestions you'd like to give in the comments below, and I'll see you next time, hopefully sooner than the last video. Peace out, guys.